All right. Here we go. Getting saddled up. Welcome back. Hello, music lovers. All of the good things, all the greetings, all the salutations. Buttoning up one of my guitars I did a little setup on. I thought it'd be cool to talk about the Grammys today. Obviously, that was a big deal in the music industry. Always is. A lot of controversy. As always. I still got some cough action. It's not good. I think I had some of that flu that was going around. I think I accidentally got some of it, which is stupid. But feeling a little bit better today. It knocked me off schedule by about a week, which is stupid because I wanted to put together my new desk. I got a new Halo Argosy desk. And I wanted to get that together, which I've not been able to do. And so I'm sitting here just kind of buttoning up one of my favorite guitars, which is this red Sir Modern. This thing is a monster. I'm such a fan of it. And I was playing through some Steve Morse tunes, having some fun with them. Let's see here, get it in tune. Snip some strings off the end, all that kind of good stuff. Hope everybody's doing great today. Yeah, there's Chuck in the live chat moderating as always. Hey, yeah. Anybody have a chance to watch the Grammys? Did you guys get a chance to scope that out? I hope you did. It was pretty cool. The musical performances were outstanding. Sorry, I'm looking for some snips. Thought I had some around. I don't want to be that guy with my strings dangling off the end of the instrument. I thought I had some. Laying right here on the desk. It's always like, where's the thing you need when you need it the most, right? Oh, man. I hate having these things on the end of the headstock. Do we have some snips? There we go. Found them. Found them. Quit dangling. I'm trying not to. Try and get these things out of your face. Here we go. Did a little restring action on this baby. This is a great guitar. Such a fan of this guitar. This is the best sounding modern I've ever played. And it's like, I don't know what makes it so special because I've got two more moderns in the rack over there that are the same exact spec, just a different color. And this one just sounds crazy. Just sounds like super thick and good. Perfect shred guitar. Like the perfect shred guitar. Yeah. All right. I just did, I've been playing 9 to 46 some Fender scale length, and I put that on this, and you just need a little bit of setup action. It just needed a little bit of setup to get it playing good. But man, it sounds really good, doesn't it? I really like this guitar. Put some delay on there. Sounds really great, doesn't it? I'm a fan. Is the audio coming through okay for you guys? I was playing through some too many notes earlier. Just trying to refamiliarize myself with it. It's such a monster tune. We'll talk about some Grammys in a second. Let's see if we can play a little bit of this. This click track always messes me up at the top of this thing, so I might mess up. Let's see if we got a good audio. the audio was okay. Yeah, just trying to knock some dust off of that thing. Monstrous tune. Yeah, Steve's the GOAT, man, right? Like that's freaking Steve. The tunes are so good. That's the thing. It's like the songs are so good. Let's jump in and talk about the the Grammys. Sorry. I'm feeling a little bit better. I'm trying to get there. Yeah, so the Grammys, man. Did anybody have a chance to watch those and kind of get an inventory? Yeah, it's just so hard saying the Grammys were a disaster. I'm gonna challenge that statement because I thought there were some musical highlights from the Grammys. I know that the hot button topic will be Beyonce winning Country Album of the Year. Okay. Yeah. But musical performances that I thought were outstanding. Chick from Wicked and Herbie Hancock doing the Sinatra thing. Outstanding. Really top tier. I thought Bruno Mars and Lady Gaga doing Mamas and the Papas, California Dreamin'. I thought they were really good. And I actually thought Bruno Mars kind of stole that scene. His vocal performance on that was really, really great. And then another good one I think her name is Ray, R-A-Y. Is that correct? Let's look that up real quick. I think it's Ray. Let's see here. I think it's Ray. Yeah, let's just make sure that's her. Yeah, Ray, R-A-Y. She did a performance last night that was just killer. Super, super good. That one really got good to me as well. So from a performance standpoint, you had Stevie Wonder playing with Herbie Hancock, playing some harmonica. And then you also had Dawes doing the Randy Newman song, We Love L.A. or I Love L.A., with an all-star band. Really killer band like Brad Paisley and Sheryl Crow and everybody was in that all-star band. So let's just take a second to celebrate the fact that the Grammys performances this year were the best performances that they've had in a long time. At least that's my opinion. I didn't have many cringeworthy moments watching the Grammys as far as the performances go. And I thought that was nice. There was a lot of musicality. The celebrating of Quincy Jones was really good. And they didn't cheapen that. Like a lot of times those like Lifetime, after a legacy artist or producer has died, they'll shorten it and be like, oh, now remembering Quincy Jones. And that's it. I felt the girl that did the Michael Jackson thing did a great job at honoring the way he dressed and moved and danced. I thought her vocals had to take a backseat because of that. Right. Michael was so good at dancing and singing at the same time. If you notice, a lot of artists have to kind of choose one or the other to commit to. Michael was just an anomaly. So did we need to do that? I don't know. I thought her dancing was really, really good though. Really good. Like she did, the moonwalk was really good. I thought she nailed that. And, I tell you, Sabrina Carpenter, in my opinion, had the best pop album last year. I really, really like the Sabrina Carpenter album. I thought she had a great tour, great production, great songs. And the fact that didn't win album of the year, that one bummed me out. I thought she really... In my opinion, I think Sabrina should have won everything she was nominated for. I think that album was a masterpiece. Really, really great pop record. It sounds good. There's smart chord progressions. The production's great. Vocal performances are great. Let's talk about Sabrina's performance at the Grammys. Spectacular. Kind of started off like Gershwin-esque or whatever you want to call it, like Fred Astaire with the tap dancing. She's tap dancing in high heels, and then she comes down the stairs and it goes too far, and there's like the little, gimmick, joke, gag things. I thought that was really, really great, and then she ends up just being awesome. I mean, yeah, I thought so good, man. Really, really, Sabrina was really great. I'm going to jump into the chat because I want to see what you guys think right now over there in the live chat. Thank you all for being here on a Tuesday. Well, I've still got this nasty cough, and we're live streaming here at the Woodshed as always. I want to do some more streaming. I actually wanted to start it last week, but I was so sick I couldn't do it. I'm going to do more streaming throughout the week, but we will always do our Tuesday, barring not me not being on tour or anything. We'll always be doing our Tuesday live streams. So thanks for being here. Remember, they're at 3 p.m. Eastern and noon Pacific. So yeah, moving forward, a couple of announcements, little housekeeping we've got. One is I will be going on tour with my solo stuff, and we will be hitting, I don't want to mess it up, I'll tell you. We'll be hitting March 3rd. I'll be at Sweetwater at Fort Wayne, Indiana. I'll be doing a clinic up there. Then March 5th, I'm going to move up to Granville, Michigan, and do a clinic at Firehouse Guitars. March 6th will be a clinic down at Guitar Sanctuary in McKinney, Texas. And then March 7th will be a performance with my full band at the Guitar Sanctuary in McKinney, Texas. That's going to have my full band, which will be Eli Bishop on fiddle. Travis Toy is going to come out and play some steel guitar. We're going to have Adrian on bass because Ben will be out on another gig, and Andy Campbell on the drum kit. That will be a delight. So Denver, I see the request to come to Denver. Yeah, I need to follow up and get more dates on the calendar. But yeah, so really excited about all of those clinics coming up. Now let's dive in here and see what you guys are saying about the Grammys. Man, you guys are chatting it up today. I love to see it. Blake's in the house. He said, you don't need them cutters. Let's see Steve Newsom. Steve Newsom says, hey, Andy, I was searching Patreon for some fractal patches. I didn't see your own personal tones that you use. Am I missing them? Yeah, Steve, they're in there, and I will reload them so they'll be at the top of the wall. For you guys that are joining my Patreon, remember that thing is just a wall. Unfortunately, Patreon won't let you pin things more than one thing at a time. So I need to put those back at the top of the feed so you guys can grab them. Greg is saying, what pickups are on the amazing guitar? It's a DSH Plus and a DSV. So it's not the SSH and the SSV, it's a DSV. It's a really great setup. I'm a big fan of this guitar. I think it sounds really good. But yeah, the Patreon stuff, remember that you got to scroll through those, but I'll dig back in there. And for you guys, we do a live Zoom masterclass every week for Patreon members, and it's a delight. So I encourage you, if you got an extra $25 each month, you get 4 of those live masterclasses. Those are Q&A style live masterclasses. I host them on Zoom, and they're really fun. We have a great community. So join up over on Patreon and hang out with us every week. Really, really great. Jeff McElwain's in the house. Good to see Jeff. Hope you're doing well. One guy says not enough notes. Actually, it's too many. Tumeni. John says just warming up. Yeah, I'm just trying to get there. It's a tough tune to play. Did Milli Vanilli get anything this year? Sahara's hitting the thing that I thought, the Beyonce not being a country album. I actually thought that, in my opinion, I think that my vote for country album of the year would have been Chris Stapleton. I thought his record was really great. So Greg says, do you have your own transcription of Too Many Notes that we could purchase? I don't, Greg. The main head I play pretty much just like Steve plays it. And then on the improvised sections, I just kind of play in the style of So Arcade says Andy sounds hilarious at 1.5 pitch. Yeah, it's a kill me. The Beatles getting the award, another atrocity. Rolling Stones for best rock. Yeah, there was some questionable moves. I think Beato mentioned it. Excuse me. Excuse me. Beato mentioned it like they should have a legacy or seniors division. I like that. I like the idea of having a legacy division where if you've had a career that spans more than 30 years or 40 years, then you need to be in the legacy divisions. Alexa says, Andy, do you think about left-hand position while playing? Would love to see your approach. I mean, to me, left-hand position is definitely on my mind because I'm trying to navigate where I'm coming into something and where I'm coming out of something. Like that kind of thing. It's like I'm really trying to think about as much line and flow as I can. So, just looking at where the roots are and where I'm headed to. Right? Yeah. So Billy Strings gets himself another one. Yep, exactly. Makes Michigan folks proud. I love to see that. There should be a Guitarist of the Year category. There's the one instrumental category, and it's unfortunate because so many, I think it's like modern instrumental performance, something like that. And it's like you got Bela Fleck in there with Julian Lage, and you got people in there that don't flute players against piano players. It doesn't make any sense, There used to be best instrumental rock performance. I'd love to see that return. So Blake says, Granville, that's 2.5 hours for me. Well, you better come on out. Yeah. Shout out for McKinney. Yeah, McKinney's happening. It's going to be good. Here we go. Moving on down. Michael says, looking for your guitar, Andy. Whiskey Barrel Hum Hum. I have one on order from Sweetwater, but not here until April. Any line on where one might be? Unfortunately, no. They're in high demand right now, which I'm super grateful for because those guitars are rippers. And people are just digging them. And they're just kind of hard to get right now, which is really, really cool. LLTB says, Andy, speaking of Patreon, is there any way you yourself can video the master classes? I'm not available on Wednesdays. If someone else doesn't do it in post, I can't access them. I will hopefully have a new setup in the foreseeable future that will allow me to just store those locally. But Jay Smory is one of our members over there, and he always records them and posts them. He is a sweetheart of an individual for doing that, and they are always in the link. So if you missed the masterclass, you can just scroll down in the comments section of the masterclass, and thanks to Jay, they're usually there. Kaner says, Austin, Texas is calling your name, maybe with Eric Johnston and Jimmy Vaughn. I'd love to play in Austin. That would be really amazing. So, Nees is saying, I think country should be acoustic only. Guitar. Well, that makes it not country because I think something very country is the steel guitar and the Telecaster, and those are a plug-in thing. You know what I mean? Like those are electric. So I would disagree with that. Do you install fractal betas or do you usually wait for the release? Usually I'm a little bit late when I do the installs of the updates. I don't get them the day they come out. So, you know, it's fine. Like, I think the tones are really, really great. So I thought the tones were great in the Axe-Fx 2, and now they're just even crazier. So if I miss an update by a couple of weeks, who cares? You know what I mean? Knees Hurt is saying old time country, or as my dad says, dance music. Right. Yeah. Cheers, Mexico. Hope you're doing well. All the way down there in the unknown name. Jay. Yes, sir. Thank you, brother. Are you coming back to the UK anytime soon, Joe Johnson? Yeah, actually, I think I'll be coming back to the UK in May. It looks like there's an awards show for a guitar magazine. They want me to come and hang out and be a special guest. So yeah, that actually looks like that will happen. So I'm excited about that. Chris Justice is in the house. Hey, Chris, how are you, buddy? Chris says they should also not allow you to switch your selectable categories every time you vote. You should have to pick the 3 genres you work most closely in. That's a really good point too. Because there's people can jump, you know. I don't know. Sarge says, Andy, how's the fiddle playing coming? Will you play for us at some point? Yeah, I'll play for you some point. It's sitting right here. I haven't felt good, so I didn't play any fiddle last week, so I'm not going to attempt it right now. Dustin says, Andy, having played all the current modelers, how's the Helix tones versus the Axe-Fx 2, not the Axe-Fx 3? Helix is cool. The thing that I don't like about Helix more than anything is the user interface. So if anybody at Line 6 is watching this, I think you can improve that. That's what I don't like. That's just my opinion. Guys may prefer it and like it, but yeah, I think there's some great tones in the Helix. I think anything can get some good sounds these days. It just depends on how you want to approach your game. You know, what is it that you need to do? They're all just kind of, it's like modern gear. It's kind of like going to Lowe's or Home Depot to improve your house, right? There's so much gear available to the modern guitarist. It's like going to Lowe's. So the Helix and the Axe-Fx, these modelers, that's like going to the plumbing section. That's where your sinks and toilets and stuff like that are. If you're needing a gig with an amplifier, that's like going to the lumber section, you know? So you got to get the thing that you need. And I make the joke all the time. It's like they're all just tools. You don't want to paint your house with a shovel, you know? So, you know, playing right now, I'm plugged into the Axe-Fx and it sounds great because it sounds like a mega rack. Like I've got pitch shift on, I've got reverb and delay, and like it sounds like the 80s thing, right? It's like a kitchen sink kind of tone, right? It's totally a kitchen sink tone. And I don't have to have a bunch of stuff going. So it's really convenient for this. But playing live, I'm going to use tube amps because I like tube amps, right? Yeah, I think that's it. Top 3 favorite speakers. This is a really good question. This is a really good question to Ray. Speakers are really a big part of your tone. G12 all-arounder is the G1265. Like the 65 watt Celestion. That's just the all around great, sounds awesome with everything speaker. It's like everything that's great about a greenback and everything that's great about a vintage 30 and none of the bad stuff with either one of them. It's really good. Second favorite, Clean's, man, the EV12L. That is a great speaker. Wow. Really brilliant sounding speaker. EV12L. Love it. New one that I really like is the Celestion Redback. It's 100 watt. It's kind of their take on of a EV12L. It's really, really good. Also, jumping back, that made me think there was a lot of guitar happening last night in the Grammys, which I really like to see. You know, the Dolls guys with Brad, you know, was playing. Ray's guitarist was playing. And then the guy playing with Teddy Swims, he was playing, I think, a black Paul Reed Smith guitar. So it was nice to see so many guitars on the Grammys. It was funny to wake up and see all the backlash and everybody raising hell about how, obviously the Beyonce thing, right? Or like everybody's talking about Kanye West's wife being naked. It's like, yeah, I mean, I get it. But there were some really good musical performances last night on the Grammys, and we're not celebrating that enough. And I definitely think we should, because we need to have more of that. I mean, Stevie Wonder getting featured, Herbie Hancock getting featured. Yeah, that's good. That is good. You always have explaining things. To me, everything just kind of relates to something else. I don't know. It just, everything is relatable to something else in some form of fashion to me. I don't know. Losing Parts says he's too old for that. Got to stick to the old amp and pedals. Man, you find what works, and you go for it, right? You just find the thing that works for you. And I love to get some great stuff. I mean, the Axe Effects can get some really great tones. I'll just jump around here and give you a couple that I like. I've been playing on. I made this dual rectifier patch that sounds real. I like that. For a rock tone. I think it's a really good dual rectifier sound. Nice and chuggy and tight and good sounding. Here's one that's like a smoother kind of, turn this compression down a little bit, gain back a little bit. Like, this is kind of a nice sound. Kind of an infusion-y kind of thing. It sounds kind of nice. I like that a lot, Kind of modern Petrucci kind of tone, right? It's got that kind of honk to it. I think that's a really good sounding, like, modern lead tone kind of thing. I think this one sounds really good too. Right, I think that one sounds nice. I think that one sounds really good. And then I've got this nice new one. I think that's a good sound, like all round, just nice, kind of sexy tone. top leg hit the jack. That's what you heard. Pretty cool sounding patch right there too. Cavana says, just got here. I'd like to know what plugin you're using. I'm using Axfx 3. It's really great. John Sykes should have been included in the memoriam. Yeah, you know, but they probably had this thing scripted before John had passed. I'm not making an excuse. Like, should you have mentioned it? Yeah. But it's also like people are really up in arms about it. And it's like, man, there's, you know, when you're putting together a show, like an awards show, there's only so much time you could do. You know, you show his picture, you know, it's like, I think maybe before the rock announcement for best rock record, I think that's where they could have dropped it in. Just added one line. Hey, you know, like to mention John Sykes from the legendary band Whitesnake, you know, something like that. Thin Lizzy, you know. Yeah, I think that's the kind of thing, right? Let's check it out. Andy, can you show us your go-to arpeggio you use in your phrases? I don't really have like one arpeggio that I use. I have, you know, I've various approach. Let's see if we can, you know, maybe do it with here. Bring up some level here. Pull the gain back. Oh, mine's all gained out. Yeah, this is a good place to start, right? I'm going to try to do that without messing up. So when I'm thinking of arpeggios, it's really about having multiple ways to get in and out of something. You could... It's always like, with guitar, there's multiple places to play things, right? Like there's the same note over and over again. So if we were to take A as an arpeggio, the first thing I would want to do is find how many ways from which finger I could play it on. So it's like if I've got A here, I want to not just know it with my first finger. I want to have an arpeggio ready to go with any finger, right? So if it's first finger, if it's middle finger, like those are all things that I'm gonna use. I'm gonna use all those shapes. There's not one that's gonna be. There's not gonna be one that's more or less important than the others, and that would translate across the string sets too. So if we have this, then we would have. So we would have this shape that's root third fifth, and Now we're going to have that in other places too. It's going to be the same shape. One time it's going to be different is when it's on the B and G strings. And so, I mean, that's, it's never, rarely is it going to be this thing where it's like that thing, or, and that's more of like, if I'm going to sweep something, right? You know, but in general, when I'm looking at it, I'm wanting the guitar to run left and right. That way I'm able to jump in and out of notes with character. Like I'm not playing one-dimensionally. So it's like, it sounds more exciting to go. Just like you have more movement. It just sounds more musical when notes aren't just up and down. I mean, you know, it's like if you're a young man, those kinds of things sound fun to you. You know, those are like fun things, but they don't really sound as musical as something going. Like that sounds real soaring to me, and it sounds way more like a human voice versus them being like a robotic lick kind of thing, right? That sounds very, you know, just like the notes are played. There's only so much of that you can do before it's just like, oh, it's just more of the same. There's nothing exciting. Even in the solo to the Steve Morse studio. There's all of these kind of things that make it fun. Like all of those character notes sound way more musical and a lot less just like a MIDI file or a sequencer. Like I'm looking for things to sound like guitar. I know a lot of guitar players are really in love with the idea of guitar sounding like something else. And that I would just say, go play something else. You should just play the keyboards. You can get more stuff. The crazier stuff that you want, you can do crazier because you got 10. So it's like 10 fingers. To me, it's like, I like the guitar to sound like guitar. Like talking about Sykes, you know? Like that to me is perfect because it sounds like a voice, and there's things that it does that a piano can't do, you know. All of that rubber bandy stuff is what I think sounds really cool on guitar. and what makes it expressive. So the idea of playing everything, like that all sounds just kind of like it runs together. It's not really that fun, you know. To me, only just my opinion, you know. I mean, you know, let's be real, guys. Like, we're guitar fans and we're rock fans, but like that's not that popular anymore. So it's not really like Sykes is getting the shaft so much as just rock guitar is getting the shaft. But there was more guitar than there has been in a long time, so it was good to see that. You know, Billy Strings wins Grammys and stuff like that. I mean, that's, you know, so let's not be too negative, Nancy, because there was there was a course correction happening with more guitar going on. You know, it's way more guitar than there has been at the Grammys. This is why AI isn't taking any guitar players' jobs. That's my thought too. It's like you know, you can sequence stuff and AI can easily do that, but it has a hard time learning imperfections and you know, things that are character, like notes on characters, right? Like ornaments. That's what Sean Tubbs calls them, and I love that, like ornaments on the notes. You know, some cool stuff like that is like, sounds way more exciting. Yeah. Okay. Got a lot of fancy ornaments. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing, right? Is having more ways to develop, to develop a note and a story other than just going like that's kind of one dimensional, right? Let's get a different tone. Let's get a tone that's more touch sensitive and less compressed. And that kind of tone that I was using is like intentionally compressed, right? Like intentionally the Muso Fuso guy kind of tone, right? This one's like a little more lively, a little more touch sensitive. You know, just that, like if you use your finger or the pick. You know, that could also be. Yeah. That's another way to add ornaments, is play the same note with just a different inflection into it. Yeah. It's one of my favorite little ornaments that you can add is like bending out of a note. That thing. it's like there's a lot of room for expression on a tone like that. It's a little more lively and not as compressed, and I can manipulate all the controls of the guitar. I mean, like, I love a 5-way on a 2 humbucker guitar because you get so many sounds. You also get this one, yeah. This one. This one's really great too. And then the back. And the push pull. Yeah, I mean, so for me, it's like the back is series parallel. So and then I have the 2 inside coils. Yeah, I think that sounds pretty good. I don't know. I mean, like, you guys may think it sounds like trash. I don't know. I think it sounds pretty good. Chris Justice is in the house. He used to work at Sir, and he's right, man. The 5-ways on the 2 humbucker guitars is just super versatile, and to me, it sounds nice. Where it's like the back humbucker, the 2 inside coils, both humbuckers, just the neck most coil, and then the neck humbucker. I don't know about the Pete Thorne. Chris Justice probably knows about the Pete more than I do. Pete's got his thing that works for him. He and I don't overlap a ton, except in the Van Halen love. Like, we both love the Van Halen thing, and Alnico 2 pickups definitely have a thing that we both kind of enjoy. And but outside of that, excuse me, Pete's tone is super different than what I go for. And I think he sounds great, so maybe I'm doing it wrong. I don't know. I like my sound though too. So it's like, you know, it's like there's a lot of ways to skin it. You know what I mean? There's a lot of ways to get a great sound. And I think you got to get out there and test them, you know? There's nothing better than like trying to find these guitars out in the wild and play them and see if it connects with you, you know? JTB is saying, Andy, what's your thoughts on the P90 pickups? I was looking at Yamaha RevStar P90, afraid to pull the trigger. P90s are awesome. I think P90s are really cool, especially after hanging out with Phil X a lot. He gets a great guitar sound, especially in the room. It just, golly dang, it just sounds so crazy. And yeah, he's a P90 guy. I really want a Les Paul Jr. with P90s. I think Juniors are awesome. So I just think they're cool too. TV yellow. I'd like to have that. One P90, maybe 2 P90s. I don't know. D Hayes is saying, Andy, I have my granddaughter listening. She loves your playing. Can you say hi? Hi to Fifi. Hello, Fifi. You know, hello, Fifi. Yeah, here we go. So, yeah, the shout out. Andy, do you plan on coming to LA? Yes, I do. And we're going to be doing some shows and clinics out there. So stay tuned on the website. The website is andywoodmusic.com. I'm going to take a break here just to kind of fill you guys in, we have a brand new store that should be going live Friday. I'm going to do a big full announcement next week. But yeah, that'll be on andywoodmusic.com. Vinyls for albums, CDs, transcriptions, tone packs, Axe Effects patches. I mean, there's just so much good stuff that's going to be on that website. Coasters, shot glasses, flasks, all with like the logo or the chicken, the free range chicken. We've got some really, really fun products that are going to be on there. Tablatures, backing tracks, everything's going to be on andywoodmusic.com. And it's man, props to Chuck for getting it prepped up and ready to roll. So yeah, just make sure to jump in on that website later this week. And if you want to keep the channel going and join us for weekly live masterclasses, like full-on masterclasses, like what you would get at a clinic, that would be at patreon.com/AndyWoodMusic. Join up at the combo tier and you get 4 classes a month for only $25. It's a really incredible deal. And you get 4 master classes a month for $25. Yeah. So Dustin says, what is the queue for song cover lesson requests? I would upgrade my Patreon for a bit to jump ahead. I mean, really, it just kind of comes in and I make them. So the next thing I've got to make is an arpeggio class, an arpeggio breakdown that Neil requested, and I'm going to make that today. But as far as like learning a song or covers, I don't really do the transcription thing very often, but I do breakdowns. So like, you know, if you're like, hey Andy, how do you solo over, you know, something? If it's something like Coltrane's Countdown, I'm just like, oh, my face hurts, you know? So, you know, we don't do a ton of that type of stuff, but we've done some pretty nuts tunes. I think the Slippery Eel that Jay wanted to do was one of the more bananas tunes that we did one time. But in general, yeah, I mean, you know, it's like once you get up to the higher tiers, not only do you get the ability to request, but you get the master classes, you get the one-on-one lessons as they are available if you're in the highest tier. So there's a lot of things to offer. That's all at patreon.com/AndyWoodMusic. Man, thanks for hanging out with us this week, guys. I appreciate you so much. Remember the Grammys, there were some sore spots, but there were some bright spots, and I encourage you to go listen. My favorite, just recap here, my favorite moments was Stevie Wonder and Herbie Hancock doing the instrumental tune that Quincy did. The chick from Wicked doing the Sinatra tune with Herbie was incredible. The girl Ray was really incredible. Lady Gaga with Bruno Mars doing the Mamas and Papas California Dreamin' was awesome. Those are my top picks, and Sabrina Carpenter. I think Sabrina Carpenter is MVP. I think she was the best new artist last year. I think she is a superstar. And Sabrina, if you need a guitar player, give me a call. I'll play for you. Like, she's awesome, you know. So with that said, Teddy Swims, man. Teddy was great. Yeah, Teddy was great. I actually had the pleasure of working with Teddy at the Troubadour in LA last year. Really, really great guy. Nice guy. Great singer. Yeah, he crushed it. Thank you, Jim. He was really, really good. So with that said, tomorrow night will be for Patreon. That will be live on Zoom. A masterclass coming at you tomorrow night. And I'm going to hopefully tackle this studio and install my brand new Halo Argosy desk workstation and get the room rewired and get some things rolling here. So it's been a week. Last week took me out. I was so sick I couldn't get anything done. So I'm trying to make up for it this week. Getting ready to make this lesson for my Patreon members on this arpeggio fingering that I think is pretty cool. And we'll go from there. Guys, be blessed. I hope you have a great rest of your week. We'll see you next week, as always, on Tuesday. And with that said, you know, everyone have a great week. I'll see you real soon.